The moment the cameras rolled and the Golden Globes 2026 officially began, there was an unspoken sense that this night would be different. Hollywood has seen countless iconic evenings, legendary speeches, and unforgettable red carpet looks, but this time the energy felt unusually global. It wasn't loud at first. It was subtle, almost cinematic, like the opening scene of a story that only reveals its importance once you're already deep inside it. As the red carpet filled with familiar faces, one arrival instantly altered the rhythm of the night. Lisa of BLACKPINK stepped into the spotlight, and within seconds, timelines across the world lit up. Fans in Asia stayed awake through the early morning hours. Viewers in Europe paused everything. Audiences in the Americas leaned closer to their screens. This was not just admiration, it was recognition. Lisa was not merely attending Hollywood's biggest night. She was becoming part of its narrative. From the first flash of the cameras, her presence carried weight. The fashion headlines came quickly, but beneath the surface, something far more meaningful was happening. Lisa represented a generation of artists who did not wait for Hollywood's permission. They built global power first, then arrived on their own terms. When she walked the carpet, it wasn't as a guest borrowing the spotlight, but as a global figure Hollywood could no longer ignore. Then came the moment that changed the tone of the entire night. Lisa appeared on stage as a presenter. Calm, confident, and completely in control, she delivered her lines to a room filled with the most influential names in film and television. The applause was genuine, the reactions were warm, and the symbolism was impossible to miss. This was a K-pop artist standing at the center of one of Hollywood's most prestigious ceremonies, not as a novelty, but as a respected presence. For many viewers, this was the exact point where curiosity turned into realization. This was no longer about genre, language, or origin. It was about impact. Lisa's journey from global pop star to a recognized figure in Hollywood spaces reflected a much larger shift that had been building for years. The Golden Globes 2026 did not create this change. It revealed it. As the broadcast continued, social media analytics told their own story. Searches related to Lisa surged worldwide. Clips of her appearance spread faster than most award announcements. Comment sections filled with reactions describing the moment as historic, emotional, and transformative. But what made the conversation even more fascinating was another name rising alongside hers, even without stepping onto the Golden Globes stage that night. Jungkook of BTS began trending globally in parallel with Lisa. Not because of rumor or speculation, but because audiences instinctively connected the dots. For years, Jungkook has symbolized the global reach of K-pop at its highest level. His solo success, record-breaking streams, sold-out stadium tours, and collaborations with Western artists have already reshaped how the global industry measures influence. In the collective mind of fans and cultural observers, Lisa and Jungkook represent two powerful forces moving in the same direction. This is where the question naturally forms, not as a claim, but as a reflection of reality. Are Lisa and Jungkook taking over Hollywood, or is Hollywood finally catching up to a global movement that has been unstoppable for years? Midway through the night, entertainment media shifted its framing. This was no longer just about red carpet fashion or presenting duties. Analysts and commentators began discussing what Lisa's appearance truly meant. Her involvement in internationally acclaimed television projects, her seamless transition between music, fashion, and acting, and her growing presence in Western media signaled something important. Hollywood is evolving, and it is doing so by embracing artists who already command global audiences. This is the teaser moment, the part of the story that keeps viewers watching. Because once you recognize the shift, you start asking deeper questions. If Lisa can stand on that stage today, who will stand there tomorrow? If Jungkook's music already dominates global charts, how far is he from becoming a regular presence in Hollywood's biggest cultural moments? As the Golden Globes ceremony progressed, the sense of change only intensified. Awards were given, speeches delivered, but the conversation online kept circling back to the same idea. This night feels different. Not because Hollywood lost control, but because it opened itself to a new reality. The center of global culture is no longer fixed. It moves with the audience, and the audience is everywhere. Jungkook's name continued to trend as fans revisited his journey. From debuting as part of BTS to becoming one of the most recognized artists on the planet, his path has already crossed deeply into Western cultural spaces. Performances on major American stages, chart-topping English-language releases, and global brand partnerships have firmly positioned him within Hollywood's sphere of influence. Even without physical attendance, his presence was felt through the conversation itself. Together, Lisa and Jungkook form a narrative that feels inevitable. Not because of collaboration rumors or staged appearances, but because they embody the same shift from different angles. Lisa represents visual culture, fashion, and on-screen presence. Jungkook represents musical dominance, vocal influence, and chart power. Their combined impact creates a story that audiences instinctively understand. As the night drew closer to its end, clips from the Golden Globes 2026 continued spreading across platforms. Millions of views accumulated in hours. Reaction videos, analysis threads, and fan edits multiplied rapidly. A recurring phrase appeared again and again. This changes everything. But what exactly changed? Hollywood did not suddenly belong to anyone else. Instead, it expanded. It acknowledged that global icons are no longer visitors. They are participants, contributors, leaders in shaping what entertainment looks like next. This is the deeper narrative that makes the Golden Globes 2026 unforgettable. It wasn't about one award or one appearance. It was about validation. Validation that global influence matters. Validation that audiences outside traditional Western markets shape the industry's future. Validation that artists like Lisa and Jungkook are not trends, but foundations of a new era. What makes this moment even more powerful is how quietly it happened. There was no official announcement declaring a new era. No dramatic headline written in advance. Instead, the shift revealed itself through reaction, attention, and engagement. Viewers did not need to be told that something important was unfolding. They felt it instinctively. That feeling is what keeps audiences watching longer, replaying clips, and sharing the story across platforms. For Hollywood, moments like the Golden Globes 2026 act as mirrors. They reflect not only what the industry values, but who the audience values. The overwhelming response to Lisa's presence and the parallel conversation surrounding Jungkook showed a clear truth. Global audiences are no longer passive consumers. They actively shape what becomes relevant, celebrated, and remembered. This is why the idea of a Hollywood takeover resonates so strongly, even as a question rather than a statement. It captures the curiosity of a world watching boundaries dissolve. Music, film, fashion, and culture no longer move in isolated lanes. They intersect, overlap, and amplify one another. Artists like Lisa and Jungkook thrive in this environment because they were built for it from the beginning. As discussions continue in the days and weeks following the Golden Globes, one thing remains consistent. This night will be referenced again and again as a turning point. Not because it ended something, but because it confirmed something already in motion. The global stage is no longer a destination. It is the starting point. And now, the most important question remains unanswered. If this is what the present looks like, what will the next chapter bring? The audience is watching. The industry is listening. And the story is far from over.